Santiago Ramon y Cajal, 1852 to 1934, was a Spanish neuroscientist, pathologist, and histologist specializing in neuroanatomy and the central nervous system. He and Camilo Golgi received the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1906. Ramon y Cajal was the first person of Spanish origin to win a scientific Nobel Prize. His original investigations of the microscopic structure of the brain made him a pioneer of modern neuroscience. The Spanish-born Cajal has been called the father of modern neuroscience and in 1906 won the Nobel Prize of his revolutionary research into the nervous system. He was the first person to suggest that the brain is composed of individual cell structures, and his contribution to the understanding of how the brain actually works are still studied today. The artwork of Cajal is Calluses of Health in the Nucleus of the Trapezoid Body in 1934. Cajal studied at the Provincial Art Academy. His understanding of the persuasive power of images is revealed in the intricate drawing he created to introduce and circulate his revolutionary discoveries. And then, he illustrated the inner working of the nervous system, the connection between the brain and the retina, and the development of a living, maturing brain over time. Relevance of the artwork: Cajal aspired to be an artist before his father encouraged him to pursue medicine, but his initial passion never won. During her career, he made thousands of detailed drawings of brain matter based on what he saw through microscopes. And today, these drawings remain valued sources of neurological study. These images range in style from venous sensation-inspired tree-like branches of the nervous system to amorphic images of neurons. In a single sketch, he combined observations he had made at different times of obtained using various methods, thus illustrating a larger hypothesis. As a result, Cajal's depiction often put forth basic principles or a series or event much more clearly than photographs.
Background of the artist: Alfred L. Copley. As Alfred L. Copley, he was a Dresden-born doctor and medical researcher who earned German and Swiss medical degrees before immigrating to the U.S. in 1939, founded and edited 3 scientific journals, and published in-depth research on the flow properties of blood and other biological fluids. As Al Copley, he was an abstract expressionist painter who co-founded the artist, the group, and the club in 1949, along with Abbe's bigwigs like Adrien Chard, Welling de Kooning, and Franz Klein. His canvases featuring strokes and squiggles of bold black, blues, reds, and yellow are housed in major institutions, including New York Museum of Modern Art and Amsterdam's Stedelijk Museum. This is the artwork. Alcalpi Mirrors, 1961, David Richard Gallery. The series is prompted by 10 things political scientists know that you don't, by political scientist Hans Noel, Georgetown. This article was brought to my attention by Jason Brennan, Georgetown, in a comment on the Philosopher on the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Noel's list take up matters of existing interest to policy practitioners, pundits, journalists, and other people who follows politics that who the you in his title. He focuses on well-known topics about which people tend to have opinions and brings in research and political science to give a sense of the professional consensus, admitting that there are political scientists who will dissent from it. It includes the will of the people is incredibly hard to put your finger on, as most people are not very ideological and most people do not have strong political opinions. This is a relevance of artwork. Philosophy is full of surprising insights, ideas, and arguments about a wide array of subjects in which there is a mistaken or misleading conventional wisdom, and it would be good for those who think about, comment on, or engage in practices relevant to these subjects you to be aware of them. This series asks philosophers to share these insights, ideas, and arguments. They may be claims about what philosophers specializing on those subjects know that most others do not, but also, of course, claims about what philosophers know we all don't know, even though others think they do.
Background of the artist: Rafael Lozano Himer, born in 1967 in Mexico City, is a Mexican-Canadian electronic artist who works with ideas from architecture, technological theater, and performance. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Physical Chemistry from Concordia University in Montreal. Currently, Lozano Himer lives and works in Montreal in Madrid. Artwork: Paul's Room 2006 rounded out the exhibition, featuring hundreds of clear incandescent light bulbs hanging from the ceiling in even rows, pulsing with the heartbeats of past visitors. Visitors could add their heartbeats to insulation by touching a sensor, which transmitted a pulse to the first bulb. Additional heartbeats continued to register on the first bulb, advancing earlier recording ahead bulb in time. The sound of the collected heartbeats joined the light display amplified the physical impact of the installation. Relevance of artwork: Solar Equation was a large-scale public art installation that consists of a faithful simulation of the sun, scaled 100 million times smaller than the real thing. Commissioned by the Light in the Winter Festival in Melbourne, Australia. The piece featured the world's largest spherical balloon, custom manufactured for the project, which was tethered over Federation Square and animated using 5 projectors. The solar animation on the balloon was generated by live mathematical equation that simulated turbulence, flares in sunspots that can be seen on the surface of the sun. This produced a constantly changing display that never repeated itself, giving viewers a glimpse of the majestic phenomena that are observable of the solar surface that can only relatively recent advances in astronomy have discovered.
Andy Goldsworthy. Andy Goldsworthy is a renowned land artist from England. His passion for nature and change has made his work stand out brightly in the art world. Goldsworthy aims to help people notice nature once again and wonder all of its magical mysteries. By creating sculpture made of all natural materials and constructing them in their original environment, Goldsworthy is able to observe the effects of time in nature. Time and the notion of being temporary are aspects of life that the environment and every human has in common. Time links all life. Goldsworthy sculpture helps reinforce the importance of understanding the reality of birth, life, death, and rebirth. His work, entitled River, is a rock in the middle of the river on which Goldsworthy placed dozens of circles pointing straight up like spires. The circles give off a majestic feeling, showing that nature has a certain power over us, be it noticeable or not. We are not nothing without nature. We would not exist as a species without it. One of Goldsworthy's biggest aims is to get people to notice nature again. Through his extraordinary works, he inspired thoughts of how we interact with the environment and how time affects everyone and everything. He uses this seemingly ordinary object and creates magnificent sculpture that in instant grabs anyone's attention. It is all about an emotional response.
Maria Merian charted a course for modern ecology. In the mid-1600s, a young Merian who came from a family of artists took up drawing and painting. However, her interest in studying insects was unexpected. She raised skillworms and other critters in her early teens. Traversed her native German countryside collecting caterpillars, and later investigated over 150 animals and plant species while on a 2-year sojourn in Suriname, the first European expedition of its kind. Her published records of her specimens are the perfect marriage of art and scientific investigation. Delicate, highly detailed, colored copperplate engravings, which she paired with written descriptions of the creatures, life cycles in response to stimuli. Metamorphosis insect room was skillworm that first captured 13-year-old Maria Sibylla Merian's attention. She would later graduate to a wider set of creatures, watching caterpillars, butterflies, and moths for days, weeks, and months. Paintbrush in hand, Merian recorded each stage of their life cycles, noting every change and movement. Relevance of the artwork. When Merian was 3, her father, renowned illustrator Matthias Merian, died, and she subsequently was raised by her mother and stepfather, still life painter Jacob Marel. She collected insects and other specimens of Marel's compositions, and in these formative years, nature plants and caterpillars in particular became Merian's primary subjects of artistic interest.